So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I know I've got a couple of pictures I'm going to show you that some people just get all fired up about, but it's homesteading farm life. And we have some girls, some does that are going to be having babies soon. Aren't you, Sho-Sho? That's my girl right there. So what I'm doing right now, by the way, welcome back to the channel. Good morning. The reason we show these things is because it's important for people to see, children to be educated about the realities in terms of farm life. What you saw that I'm pointing out is Miss Cedar. Now we have does. We've separated our does that we believe are bred, and they are over here with the other mamas and babies. And then of course we're over here with babies. But basically what we're doing is we're getting ready for more babies to be born on the farm, okay? So, which means goat kids, more milk, more milking. I'm about to possibly start a rotation, meaning I may give Miss Salt here, you can see right there, I may give her a break now. I kind of wanted to push it to about July 1st. Depends upon how everybody else does. Depends upon if I need her milk. Depends upon how we can train a couple other of these girls to be milked. That was more difficult to do back when I had the babies, the first set of babies back in November, because some of them had to be bottle fed. Some of them didn't produce a lot of milk. So Miss Salt, her teats were too big for her babies to suckle and nurse. So I separated them. They're over here. Dottie and Dixie are over here, and Miss Salt, who you see me milking, is their mama. She sort of adopted all the other babies, but they never nursed her because they couldn't latch on. So what I did is I milked her. I used the milk, and then I shared the milk with with the babies as well. These babies over here, especially the bottle babies. So that worked out really, really well. But I do want to give her a break. And rotate out, hopefully within the next month. That'll give her a nice break. So it worked out really great for her. I do not know if Salt is bred at this time. She's down here, see. If Salt is bred, the earliest that she was bred would have been in March, which means you wouldn't be looking at her having a baby or goat kids potentially until August almost, off the top of my head. So I don't know. She may not be bred. She's a great goat. But that is what we are doing, is we're setting up for more babies. And it's going to be staggered in terms of them being born, because not all these girls were probably bred at the same time. They don't come into heat at the same time because it was more in the winter months. So we're just going to play it by ear. But we are setting up the stalls, getting everything ready. Like I said before, if you're going to have goat kids, it is so much nicer, even though, it's hot, it's a little bit humid, whatever. It is so much nicer to have goat babies in the late spring and into the summer months, because if you're not here when they're born, the chances of them freezing are pretty much zero, which is the biggest hurdle that I find when I have goat babies. A lot of people agree with that. This is why a lot of people, use heat lamps. Don't do that. Please don't do that unless you're monitoring them. I know of a farm over in North Carolina that had goat kids, and they were using a lamp. This has just happened like a month ago, and the barn burned down. Okay, so that's another discussion. But everybody's doing good. There's Miss that is Salt's sister. That's Pepper. So you have an almost completely white goat and her sister right here. That's how we got Salt and Pepper. All right, so trust is a major factor here. It's another thing that I'm talking about, is you have to get these girls to trust you, okay? Because you are their best friend. You are their mama. This is why a lot of people choose to bottle feed goat babies, so that when they grow up, so to speak, they're like this. She lets me trim her hooves. She lets me love on her. I think she's going to let me milk her. All of the above. The stress is not so much, and the loyalty and the trust is really, really high. Why are you down here? What are you doing? Miss Katniss was a bottle baby. Hi. Yeah, all these mamas. Get up on your feet. So we're getting ready, trying to get everything set up, but I'm trying to continue to build trust. Hey, did you finish everything? No, sir. No growling. Nobody's going to get your stuff. You already ate all the good stuff anyway. See, this is why we feed Cochise and Enoli separate. I separate Cochise away from the goats. They eat over there. He eats over here. And once he pretty much completes his dinners, I take his dishes. We don't want any type of feuding going on, and we don't want food aggression. Okay, you done? I'm going to take this now. Good job. You did good. Thank you, sir. You done? You want a steak? Okay. So hey guys, welcome back into the video. Have I already welcomed you to Appalachia's Homestead earlier this morning? I am still in the same stinky clothes. I love this t-shirt. Thank you to the sweetheart that sent that to me. By the way, I don't even know what time it is. I will timestamp this. I think it's 7 o'clock. We have been busting our butts. What we're doing right now on the farm, if I didn't welcome you into watching Appalachia's Homestead earlier, and whatever clips I did this morning, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. And a lot going on today. Because, like a lot of you, obviously, for the last 3 weeks, we have had so much off and on rain that it's been very difficult for a lot of people to finish planting their gardens. I don't like planting, obviously cool crops are one thing, but I don't like planting my summer crops until, into May. And by default, I got pushed post Mother's Day, which was a week ago today. Which, by the way, if you didn't see, I hope you had a good one. So we are playing serious catch up. I mean, we have all of the regular chores that we have to do every day. And I'm about to start having goat babies. I'm about to change up my milk schedule. I think I talked a little bit about that earlier. But see, we're pushing the clock on that, I think. And then we're going to have staggered births. You'll find out, like I'm going to find out, how this is going to go. But I do think, that we will likely potentially see some babies by the end of the month, which is only, about 10 days or so out, into the 1st of June. So I am pushing to get the last garden in. Plus, it's that time where we're actually trying to clean everything up. Trim everything down, assess what we have. My potatoes are doing good. My tomatoes are doing great. Everything is doing great. We have an abundance of blackberries and raspberries this year so far, knock on wood. So there's no complaints. I'm just pushing to get it done because I like to go into the very 1st of June going, okay, everything's done. So here's what we did. So we loaded up later in the afternoon. We did go to Home Depot because they have a sale right now on basic mulch. Now, I have a ginormous pile of compost. And 3 years ago, or 2 into 3 years ago, we would use some of that as actual mulch because it was a lot of cut trees and different things like that. Well, we have composted everything. So we have this huge pile of compost that we're actually right now, James is going to get the tractor. I'm filling up my raised beds. I do have 6 raised beds close to the house on a flat area, and I do like tomatoes or herbs, some basic things like that in there. But I have to put fencing up around it because I've got these 2 little yard critters right now, these 2 little bears that are running around digging things out. So we've had to put up extra fencing. So that's what I'm working on before dark in less than 2 hours, and dinner. So that's what we're working on. So I said, let's run to Home Depot because they have a sale right now on mulch. Now the bags are smaller. You used to get 2 cubic feet. Now they're 1.5. But it's 5 for $10. And I just put that around the exterior of it, not into anything with the food, just around it to help keep any of the weeds down, etc., etc. It's cosmetic. You know, it's like me trying to put on base today. It didn't happen. Foundation didn't happen, honey. But anyway, guys, the Home Depot was deader than a doornail. I actually filmed some of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some people there, but like you, this Home Depot has a really nice garden center. It's always been our favorite Home Depot to go to for basic things, in terms of, you know, all plants or little bags of mulch and things like that. I mean, for years, like 25 years, 25 years, it's been our favorite. We would drive out to go to this Home Depot. Hey, baby. Oh, there's sister. Sister, where are you? There she is. Hi, sister. She's trusting a little bit more, y'all. Guys, now I know it was later in the afternoon. I don't deny that. But, I mean, this was a beautiful day. This has been a gorgeous day here in East Tennessee. We hit about 80 degrees, partly sunny, no weirdness in the sky. I mean, this is the day, this is the first day that, and we're busting into several days of beautiful weather. This is why we're working so hard. Now, I know you're going to say, well, they sell the Bonnie items. You should go to the Mennonite Farms. I do. That's where I shop. Or I go to some very local hoop house, greenhouse scenarios. That's where I've gotten some of my stuff from. Because the prices that I'm paying for like a 4-pack, they were $2 for like peppers or basil or things like that. And I want to keep this guy in business, so I let him help me out this year. And then, of course, you can always you might want to check the ag centers in terms of your high school, like the 4-H clubs or the ag clubs. In the spring, they typically sell stuff at around the same price as I just mentioned as well. Because who's going to go to Home Depot and pay $6.98 for one little flower? They have stuff everywhere. I mean, I'm down here with my goats. Do you hear that? I mean, it is amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see how much inventory they have. Guys, it is the week before Memorial Day. It is getting towards the end of the season to be able to plant here in East Tennessee, because what we usually do is we kind of float along, and then like next week we might be 95 degrees. So it's like we kind of teeter with the winters and we teeter with the rain, and in most cases, by the time we really get into summer weather, it is so humid and so hot, it's difficult to grow things. That's why I'm pushing so hard. So this is what I'm saying. They haven't sold anything. Now, interestingly enough, prior to that, now don't get mad at me, we went to the Tractor Supply up the road because we bought one of those, tell me what it's called, a post remover, whatever, one of those doohickeys that help you remove the posts, because I have to remove posts out of my garden so we can till it, because I didn't till last year. So that's what we're working on here in the next day or two and finishing it up. So James said, I'm going by Tractor Supply, and we didn't get it last year, we're going to get it this year. I said, I'm with you. Floored by how many, nobody's buying these plants. Bonnie, I mean, I know everybody's going to go, well, everybody knows they're sky high. Yes, they are. They've always been relatively sky high compared to other things. They're more expensive, but they would still move and shake those things several years ago. I don't think people are gardening this year as much. I want to tell you they are. I want to tell you people are growing food. I think people that are already established, a lot of you guys, and a lot of people like me, we're doing our thing. We might be expanding because, see, we already have all the tools and the amendments. We already have our planters and our space. Very rarely do we have to, maybe we have to go get zip ties or something silly like that, or one thing. But a lot of people that need to be growing food are not. Now, why is that? I think cost is the #1 culprit. But #2, I think a lot of people are displaced. So if you think you're going to be moving out of your apartment, why would you plant a bunch of food if you think you're not going to be there much longer for your patio? If you think you're going to lose your home, if you think, maybe you're renting a home and maybe you're looking for something cheaper, well, the last thing you're probably going to do is put in a garden, because you may not be there by July or August by the time harvest hits. There's something going on, and obviously I think money and lack thereof for people, funds, is big because inflation is so high with these items. I don't see how people can afford that. And I think people look at that and they go, I'll just go to the grocery store, I'll go to Aldi, and this is what I'm going to do. Again, all the people that I know, if you drive around in their gardens, they're doing their gardens or they have expanded their gardens. But what is a good way to keep people from growing food? You price them out of it. It's a risk, it's time. A lot of people don't have those skill sets. You do, a lot of you do, and I hope you're teaching it and passing it along. But let's be honest, you're in the minority of individuals that know how to do these things. So when you're going into learning a new skill set and you're trying to prepare and you have limited funds, you might do a couple of small things, but you're not going to hit it hard. A lot of times when you go buy seed packets now, have you noticed how much smaller a lot of the seed packets are? I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that. And here's the thing. So we talked about Tractor Supply. It's all loaded up there with stuff. I even filmed it for a short. Nobody was at Home Depot. I mean, I'd like to tell you they're just not buying flowers. They're not buying herbs. They're not buying plants. They're not buying shrubs. It is packed out. And there was a couple, and then I saw there were two ladies. They bought a couple of things, some Miracle Grow and things like that, and they were out the door. That was it. That is not normal. The thing is when we pulled out, you can see Walmart, and when we saw Walmart, the whole corner there of the Walmart where you pull out, garden center, nobody there. It is a beautiful, enjoyable, warm but not super hot Sunday afternoon, holiday coming up next week. People should be on vacation. This is the time to finish off your spring everything. And I'm telling you, they're not doing it. So what are you seeing out there? I think this is something very important to talk about, not just because of prices and inflation and whatnot, but this is going to affect the food supply for people, people's ability to grow their own food. This is why we've been saying, and you've been saying, grow food. Please seed save. I've always tried to sprinkle in seed saving and getting things a year or two. I was pushing people 2 years ago, a year ago. I was like, if you have any amendments that you want to get, any type of special fertilizer that you use or whatever, start getting those things now, because as you continue to be pinched, this whole genre of people are in this hobby, if you will, growing your own food. It shouldn't be called a hobby, but that's what the word I'm going to use for the moment. Just like everything else is going to become unaffordable. People have to choose. Am I going to raise tomatoes today, or am I going to make rent? I will just sacrifice and hope to get a couple of tomatoes from here or there, from my neighbor or from the farmer's market or at the store, and pick and choose, because it's just out of people's reach. Tell me what you think. I got to get back to the house. She's rolling on the driveway. See, I'm trying to build trust with her. She's doing pretty good. Again, she wants to be with you. I'm talking about sister. Oh, she's getting spooked. Are they spooking you out, girlfriend? She's so sweet. Well, listen, guys, I have limited daylight. It's going to be a very busy week and a half coming up. I'm going to stay on top of my videos, but just know that they're going to be hodgepodgey, and they're going to be mixed in with milking goats and planting and whatever's going on, because I am determined to get my list done by the end of the month. If I can get it done by Memorial Day, that would be sweet, honey. Sweet. All right, guys, I'm going to break. Here comes the sun. Woo! Like, subscribe, and share. I love you guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're seeing. Give me your thoughts. Give out some good advice and ideas for people. I would be looking for sales. When we went to Home Depot, some of their items, instead of being, there were some at the front, instead of them being $5 or $6 a piece, they were like $3 for $12. I would definitely be picking and choosing. I would be truly trying to decide what I like, what I absolutely eat. I wouldn't go, if you have gardened in the past, or you still like to garden, it's a necessity, y'all. Even if you can just plant a couple of tomatoes, a couple of peppers, some basil, just a few basic things, I think it is going to supplement you. It's going to keep you at home more. It's going to feed you fresher food. I mean, it's the best. Homegrown is the best. Like, subscribe, and share. Godspeed, God bless. Keep praying, prepping, and be peaceful. Girlfriend's got to get to work. And as soon as that sun starts to head on down, don't worry. Mama's going to get a shower. You probably can smell me through my phone. It's the truth. I love you. I'll see you on the next video.